Well, it's females only today as our Let's Play Golf Week continues with Women's Wednesday. Our Golf Channel Academy coach is one of the leading lady instructors in our game, and she's here to improve your ball striking. Plus, one of the longest hitting women on the planet is in studio to explain how to generate speed and distance.
Oh my.
There you go. And you won't want to miss the inspiring story of how one father is getting more girls involved in the game.
I'll be in the grocery store and I'll be at the deli counter, and if there's a mom and a daughter, she's getting a flyer that's sitting in my pocket. You find girls who are willing to give golf a try. That's how we got big.
Miss America 2015 also joins us. See her swing and hear about the role that golf plays in her life. That and so much more on this Women's Wednesday on Morning Drive.
Yes, this is a first. 5 female hosts in studio today. No men are allowed. This could be fun. Lauren Thompson, Blair O'Neill, Bailey Moja, Paige McKenzie, and myself, Cara Robinson. We will guide you through the next 2 hours. Why? Well, because our Let's Play Golf Week continues, and today is Women's Wednesday. So, women's leagues and lady golfers who are new to the game are invited to get out and play today. Whether it be a 9-hole round, equipment rentals, or instruction, all activities are devoted to helping more female golfers have a great time on the golf course. And the theme will continue with Test Drive Thursday tomorrow and Family Golf Friday. So welcome along to what is a very special day on Morning Drive. It's May 3rd and we're ready to guide you through the next 2 hours. You good, Paige?
I can't wait. Women have been such an underserved part of our golf community, and so it's great to have a day kind of dedicated to the women that do play this game.
Yeah, we've got so much to dive into, so don't go anywhere, but let's get straight to what is happening now. And world number 1, Dustin Johnson, is in the field at the Wells Fargo Championship this week, making his first start since withdrawing just prior to his first round tee time in the Masters due to a back injury 4 weeks ago. DJ has won his last 3 PGA Tour starts and would be the first to win 4 in a row since Tiger Woods in 2008. Now, he tees off tomorrow at 7:56 a.m. Eastern Time alongside fellow PGA Tour winners Bill Haas and Davis Love III. And Paige, his coach, Joey D, says he is 99% ready. What are your expectations for Dustin this week?
Well, I think my expectations are higher for him than his expectations of himself. We heard last night on Golf Central, Todd Lewis reporting with Dustin Johnson, and Dustin saying, I haven't practiced that much. My expectations are low. Well, for a player that's coming off of 3 straight wins, going for a 4th, it's a unique position to be in. You don't often see players kind of lose that momentum and have a 5-week break in between tournaments. But I actually like the idea that his expectations are low. So often when you get on a roll, what gets in the way is actually your own mindset, your own pressing, your own expectations that you put on yourself. So the idea that he's walking into this, having lost that kind of momentum and having a refreshed mindset of low expectations, I kind of like.
It's funny because he did have a cheeky grin on his face at the end of that interview with Todd Lewis. He said, I haven't practiced that much, but I did just hit balls today, and well, I hit them pretty good.
I thought the same thing when I saw that as well. And I would look back actually at 2012, where he had a significant 3-month break. He ended up winning his 2nd event back. So I know this is a player that can bounce back from long breaks.
And 2nd event back would be a pretty good place to win because, of course, he'll be in the Players Field next week at TPC Sawgrass as well. Well, now to Lorena Ochoa's tournament that is being played in a match play format for the first time in its 10-year history. And it will be the first official event of its kind on the LPGA Tour since 2012. Once again, they return to Mexico Golf Club, but with a different place on the schedule. We traditionally see the multiple major champion welcome the best women's golfers in November as the next to last event of the season. Well, not this time, as we get to the format of the Citibank Amex Lorena Ochoa match play. 64 players will compete in single elimination match play. There will also be a 36-hole exhibition match on Saturday and Sunday that is bringing the host out of retirement. Yes, Ochoa, who will be, by the way, inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame later this year, will compete alongside 3 other members, Sayuri Pak, who retired at the end of last season, and both of this year's Solheim Cup captains, Annika Sorensen and Julie Ingstad. That will be a fabulous match. But as we look ahead to the tournament that is taking place, of course, it is an official LPGA event. Paige, what are your storylines that you'll be looking out for?
The biggest thing is this calendar shift. The fact that we're now in the middle of the LPGA season. I think Lorena Ochoa's event had previously been lost, only a 30-player event in November at the end of the season, right after the Asia swing. So I think this is a premier spot on the schedule for her event. I love the idea that the LPGA is moving back to match play. And for people to watch for, we're seeing Lydia Ko, the LPGA #1 player in the world, back in action. She had to withdraw in the middle of the tournament last week in Texas. So great to see her back in action. I would also keep an eye on Christy Kerr, coming off of a win and a playoff loss her last 2 events. I love her in match play. Everything about her game is suited for match play. She's a very confrontational player. She loves to intimidate, and she does on the golf course. And I think this is going to suit her game very well. I would also keep an eye on Inbee Park. This is a player that I've loved all season long, coming off of an injury-riddled 2016, but in great form, having a win already this season.
Yeah, single elimination as well makes it even more exciting. For me, match play speaks Solheim Cup, and it's a Solheim Cup year. So this is a wonderful opportunity for potential players with both captains there on site as well to make a bit of a mark.
It's a great point, Cara, and it gives the players another repetition of match play prior to the Solheim Cup year. It's been an absence in the LPGA schedule for several years now, so I know a lot of the both American and European players are looking forward to getting back to this format.
Last time they did have a match play event on the LPGA, it was Azahara Munoz that triumphed in 2012. She would like to be a part of Annika's European Solheim Cup team, I'm sure. Well, talk about unique formats. This week also marks the inaugural edition of Golf Sixes, an unofficial 2-day event on the European Tour that will feature 16 2-man teams representing 16 countries. They will compete in 6-hole matches that will take place in a lively atmosphere, to say the least, with music and pyrotechnics, charity donations, crowd giveaways, a long drive competition, shot clocks, and a closest to the whole competition. My goodness, there's a lot going on. The 2-man teams will play in a modified alternate shot format, allowing them both the opportunity to hit the tee shot. An alternate shot will progress from whichever ball they choose. On Saturday, the teams will be separated into groups of 4 and will play in a round-robin style. The top 2 teams from each of those 4 groups will then advance to Sunday and the knockout stages, and you can watch this all live on Golf Channel Saturday and Sunday morning. You don't want to miss it, because perhaps, Paige, this is going to be the most unique golf event we've ever seen.
I don't even think it's a question. There's no perhaps in it. It is going to be a unique competition. I'm anxious to see how it all plays out. How much fan interaction and fan buy-in will there be? The fact that there's going to be music. I don't even know what pyrotechnics are.
Fireworks, I think.
On the golf
kind
course.
Of.
And the fact that there's now, you mentioned the charity donations. Part of it is the crowd gets involved. My biggest concern is on that shot clock. Is the crowd going to be counting down like in a basketball game? I don't think it's going to affect the players, because a 40-second is plenty of time to execute the shot. But the idea that you might have crowd counting down 10, 9 in the middle of your pre-shot or actual shot is pretty outstanding.
I wouldn't be surprised. You know, we know the British crowd can be pretty rowdy. They're pretty loud at soccer games. They know how to chant when they're watching some sport. I love this. It's so different. You know, obviously most players know how to play a shot within 40 seconds, right, but it'll be cool for everyone to see, A, how long it takes them to play. I think some players might have a bit of fun trying to get as close to one as they can, rev up the crowd. I think hopefully this will bring many new eyes to the game.
Well, and it is an unofficial event, so you're getting players that are buying into this style of play, that are in it for the fun of the event. So I think it's a good test ground for this kind of alternative golf format. I like the idea that it's only a 6-hole match. I think it'll create a lot more excitement, hopefully a little bit more aggressive play too.
Yeah, you expect the players to be very relaxed with it being an unofficial event, just 6 holes, so it should just be a fun weekend, and we can't wait to watch it on Golf Channel as well. But back to today, and our Let's Play Golf Week continues with Women's Wednesday, where we invite all of you lady golfers, all those that are new to the game, to get out and play today. And we have 2 hours built to help you do just that. So let's start with some fitness as we say good morning to Lauren Thompson and Blair O'Neill.
Thank you so much, Cara. Yes, they were talking about pyrotechnics on the Golf Sixes on the European Tour. Perfect transition into what we're going to be doing today with Blair O'Neill, one of the hosts of School of Golf. You can catch that Tuesday nights on Golf Channel, but for now, she is on Morning Drive. And tight hips, Blair, that is a killer.
That's the #1 complaint I get. And for me too, right? It's tough. You know, tight hip flexors, #1 complaint I get. So I'm going to take you through a simple mobility flow. Okay, we're going to loosen up those hips. So if you're at home watching, whether you're a woman or a man,
there we go.
Get up off the couch, down on the ground. Let's have one leg down, one leg up. Okay, so this is a flow, so it's going to be a continuous movement. So initially, I'm just going to take you through what the flow would look like.
Okay.
Now, which looks simple, and it is simple, but there's a couple key factors that you need to make sure that you're doing. So, all right, so we have the toe up in the back. Now, before we flow into this, a couple of key things. I want to make sure that your rib cage is down. I don't want your rib cage flaring, so rib cage down. And let's tuck the hips. So we want a posterior tuck of the hips and squeeze the glutes. And then from here, let's stretch into it. Hold that for 2 seconds. Now let's take the lead leg out diagonally. Make sure you do a posterior tuck. So if my cameraman can get a good look at this, what I mean, because this is so crucial, is to make sure that here's just me standing here regular in this regular lunge. Posterior tuck of the pelvis gets this movement. Now when I get into this movement, I can already feel the stretch here in my hip flexor, and it's
all
releasing.
The way down your leg too,
yes,
right?
Definitely. So what we want to make sure is with the posterior tuck, we're not getting lumbar extension in our back. So
why would that be bad?
It's bad because we're putting pressure on the low back.
Okay.
So that's why we want to make sure every time your rib cage is down, posterior tuck,
got it.
Lunge into it, flow into it, do it on both sides, hold it for 2 seconds. And then let's, of course, do the other side. Okay. Now, if you want to step the game up a little bit and get a little more stretch out of that.
If you're nice and comfortable with what she's doing already, take it up a notch.
I can already feel that stretch pretty good, but if you want to take it to the next level, let's take that back leg, the back ankle, and move it inwards. So now we're really creating another angle, another stretch here. So again, reinforce rib cage down, posterior tuck of the pelvis, a big stretch forward, hold it for 2 seconds, breathe into it.
Hold it for 2 seconds. When would you do this? You know, say you've got a tee time at like noon.
Yes.
When would you want this?
I would do this before you play. Now this is great because you can do it at home. You can do it out on the range. I'd put a towel down. But also I think it's really important to make sure that you do this exercise even after your round. So people misjudge that sometimes. They stretch out before the round and they don't realize you really should stretch out after the round too, especially if you're playing a few days in a row, if you're playing in a tournament. You really need to, your body's going to thank you later. That next morning when you go out to play, if you stretched afterwards the day before.
Excellent information from Blair O'Neill. She's not done yet. Later on the show, she's going to talk about, with summertime coming up, something that's going to help you look good on the golf course and off the course too. So stick around for that. But for now, we welcome in Bailey Mosier. Hey Bailey, what do we have coming up?
Good morning. Well, that piqued my interest. I want to look good on the golf course and off of it. Well, we are celebrating girls and women in golf all morning long. And coming up, we have the story of a homegrown golf program that introduced young girls to golf and has now far outgrown the neighborhood where it was created. It is the story of Giggle, and it will most assuredly make you smile. We also have one of the top female instructors in the world joining us in studio today. Dana Rader will hit the simulator and show us some moves specifically tailored to getting females hitting it longer and more solidly. And what's not to love about Miss America 2015? She is beautiful inside and out, and she plays golf. She will be joining us in studio today. We'll learn her path into golf and how she uses the game as a tool for charity. Now back over to Cara, another lady who's beautiful inside and out.
Oh, Bailey, thank you. Alrighty, ladies. Well, don't go anywhere because everyone's beautiful inside and out in this studio. But the lady who will become the first female president of the PGA of America joins us soon, so you don't want to miss her. All right, girls?
Right.
Women's Wednesday continues right after this.